So here's a big question for you.
What?
If you were to meet a first-time viewer today, would you recommend them watch Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul first? It might seem like a simple question. Just watch them in release order, right? But hold on. This isn't just about following a timeline or checking off shows on your list. The order you watch these masterpieces fundamentally changes how you experience the entire story. It reshapes the characters you thought you knew. It transforms comedy into tragedy and villains into, well, something far more complicated.
I've been an admirer of yours for many years.
I came across a comment online that said, "My parents watched Better Call Saul first. Their only comment was they found Saul in Breaking Bad to be very tragic, not comedic, like I think we all found him when we watched Breaking Bad first." And ended the comment with, "Remember to subscribe if you liked the video." Think about it. Most of us who watched Breaking Bad first saw Saul as this flashy, morally corrupt, and funny lawyer.
Oh, look at you. Should I call the FBI and tell them I found D.B. Cooper?
But when you get to know Jimmy McGill's story first, time after time, he got beaten down in life. It changes everything.
There you go. Kick him in when he's down.
Jimmy, you are always down.
When we first get to see Saul Goodman through Breaking Bad, we see him as this morally compromised lawyer. His character is, very exciting, with his flashy suits and is well known within the criminal world, with his cheesy commercials, and he loves his shortcuts and is damn good at his job, covering up tracks for criminals like Walter White. He's exactly what Walt needs, a criminal lawyer, not a criminal lawyer.
How about we get him a real attorney? I mean, what the hell is this? This is who he hires?
What? Are you kidding me?
Throughout Breaking Bad, Saul is entertaining. He's the guy who helps Jesse buy back his parents' house through, as some might say, blackmail.
I don't know. I just thought some allowance was in order once I heard about the meth lab. The one that used to be in the basement. I looked over your signed disclosure statements, and I don't see any mention of a meth lab. No.
He's the one concocting elaborate money laundering schemes. He's brilliant at his job, sure, but he's also fundamentally corrupt. We enjoy watching him, but we keep him at arm's length emotionally. Now let's talk about Mike. He's immediately introduced as this, you would say, Gus Fring's fixer. Though we knew he did everything to be able to leave some money for his granddaughter, we really don't know how he got there. To everyone, he was just someone who was really good at what he did, who later had an unfortunate end.
We had a good thing, you stupid son of a bitch. We had Fring. We had a lab. We had everything we needed. It all ran like clockwork.
And Gus Fring? He's the show's ultimate chess master, the man who runs a meth empire behind a chicken restaurant franchise.
Hello, and welcome to the Los Pollos Hermanos family. My name is Gustavo, but you can call me Gus. I am thrilled that you'll be joining our team.
Who maintains perfect composure at all times. His only crack is his hatred for Hector Salamanca. Decades deep-long hate. Just couldn't figure out what it was, except for the little glimpse we had of Max's death.
Por favor, se lo juro.
Gus appears invincible, calculating, almost inhuman in his control. These characters work perfectly in Breaking Bad because the mystery serves the narrative. We're experiencing everything through Walt's eyes, and Walt doesn't need backstories. He needs results. The show operates on suspense, on not knowing what these dangerous people might do next.
You might want to hold off. Yeah? Why?
However, coming through the lens of Better Call Saul, we meet Jimmy McGill, a dedicated worker and brother, and everything we thought we knew about him crumbles. This isn't some corrupt lawyer who chose to be a criminal lawyer. This is a man who went on to get his law degree while working in the mailroom of Hamlin, and McGill, and later started his career in the back of a nail salon because no one would take him seriously. Why? Because he wanted his brother's approval. Chuck McGill.
Two McGill boys, side by side, storming the gates, righting wrongs, taking down the bad guys, and making a boatload of money to boot.
The brilliant lawyer, the man Jimmy idolized, spent years sabotaging his own brother. He had a pathological need to keep Jimmy down, to prove he'd never changed from the sippin' Jimmy who ran cons in Cicero. And Jimmy? He took care of Chuck through a psychosomatic illness, bringing him groceries, checking on him daily, managing his life.
At any point, it's too much, you're uncomfortable, we'll turn around and come home. You want maybe like a safe word?
How about get me the hell home?
That'll work. Okay.
All while Chuck worked behind the scenes to destroy Jimmy's career. When Chuck takes his own life, after Jimmy humiliated him in court, and sabotaged his malpractice insurance, it doesn't feel like a victory. It feels like the final nail in the coffin of who Jimmy McGill was trying to become. Jimmy's left with guilt and unresolved anger, a psychological burden he'd never escape. The name Saul Goodman stops being a gimmick and becomes a gravestone. It's the death of Jimmy McGill, the burial of a man who tried desperately to be legitimate and got crushed for it. When Jimmy finally gets his lawyer license back, he chooses to practice under the name Saul Goodman. There's a scene that crystallizes everything. Jimmy sits on a scholarship committee reviewing applications for an award in Chuck's name. All the candidates are stellar, but one stands out to him. Christy Esposito, a brilliant student whose application is tainted by a single shoplifting charge from years ago. Jimmy votes for her. Everyone else votes against her. One mistake, they argue, reflects character. After the meeting, Jimmy finds Christy outside, and instead of offering encouragement, he tells her the brutal truth. They're never going to let you change. One mistake defines you forever.
You are not going to play by the rules. You're going to go your own way. You're going to do what they won't do. You're going to be smart. You are going to cut corners, and you are going to win.
He spent his entire life trying to escape Sip and Jimmy, and every door slammed in his face. His brother didn't even believe in him. The legal establishment didn't believe in him. Even when he did everything right, his past poisoned every opportunity. So he stopped trying. He became what everyone already thought he was.
Wait, Jimmy, what?
It's all good, man.
And then we have Mike's transformation, which is equally profound. In Better Call Saul, we watch a grieving father destroyed by his son's death. Matty Ehrmantraut died because he was a good cop in a corrupt precinct, and Mike blames himself for not protecting him better.
I got Matty to take the money, and they killed him 2 days later.
Everything Mike does, every crime, every moral compromise, stems from his need to provide for his daughter-in-law and granddaughter, Kaylee. In the end, Mike might have started to like what he did. He was good at it. He was really alive and realized that he was no better than the other criminals. And Gus, he doesn't quite appear as stable as we first met him in Breaking Bad. We see him still building his empire, still calculating every move. But we also see him vulnerable, a whole different side of what we see in Breaking Bad. He's cautious around Hector because Hector has power. He's not the untouchable kingpin yet. He's still clawing his way up. Then Lalo reveals the truth. Max wasn't just Gus's business partner. He was his boyfriend.
Loca idea de que el pollero quedó un poco resentido después de que mi tío le metió un balazo en la cabeza a su noviecito.
Suddenly, that decades-long vendetta against the Salamancas isn't about business. It's about love and grief. Hector didn't just kill Gus's partner. He killed the person Gus loved most in the world. Every chess move, every calculated risk, every cold decision traces back to that loss. But the most profound addition Better Call Saul makes is Kim Wexler, a character who never even appears in Breaking Bad, yet whose absence echoes through every scene once you know her story.
This guy, any good?
When I knew him, he was.
Kim and Jimmy meet while both working at Hamlin, and McGill. She is an intern working her way through law school. He in the mailroom trying to prove himself. They connect as colleagues first, becoming close friends before their romantic relationship begins in season 2. Kim is brilliant, ethical, ambitious, everything Jimmy wants to be. But she's also drawn to his chaotic energy, his creativity, the thrill of bending the rules. And crucially, Kim initially keeps Jimmy grounded. She's his moral compass, the voice reminding him where the line is. When Huell gets arrested for assaulting an undercover cop, and Jimmy wants to use dirty tricks to get him released, Kim refuses. She represents Huell but insists on doing it legitimately. But then something shifts. When conventional legal tactics fail, Kim agrees to run a con with Jimmy, fabricating dozens of letters describing Huell as a hero to help free him.
Well, ma'am, for starters, he's a bona fide hero.
And the terrifying part? She enjoys it. Watch the season 4 episode Something Stupid. The montage shows them drifting apart. Kim thriving in her legitimate career at a prestigious firm, while Jimmy spirals through his suspension from the bar. They're living parallel lives in the same apartment, and you can feel Jimmy McGill slipping away.
You ain't even a lawyer.
I don't need to be a lawyer. all right? I'm a magic man.
The tragedy isn't that Kim enables Saul Goodman. It's that she becomes his partner in creating him. They even get married for spousal privilege, turning their relationship into a legal strategy. By season 6, Kim is the one pushing for the con against Howard Hamlin, a scheme designed to ruin his career for their own gain. When Howard dies as collateral damage in their games, walking into the wrong place at the wrong time, Kim's guilt becomes overwhelming. She leaves everything, her career, her marriage, her entire life in Albuquerque.
Apart, we're okay, but together, we're poison.
And without Kim, there's nothing left to anchor Jimmy McGill to reality. Saul Goodman takes over completely. Kim's absence in Breaking Bad becomes deafening once you know her story. Every time Saul does something reckless or cruel, you can't help but wonder, would Kim have stopped this version of Jimmy? The Saul we see in Breaking Bad isn't just morally compromised. He's completely untethered from the last person who believed Jimmy McGill was worth saving. Going this route provides some clarity and perspective on the characters, allowing viewers to identify more with these characters in Breaking Bad. However, some argue that this could be detrimental to the suspense intended in Breaking Bad. To better understand these, let's move to a more side-by-side comparison of these characters in these two shows and see the dynamics. Think about Saul's first appearance in Breaking Bad. Walt and Jesse are desperate to save Badger, and Jesse drops the now iconic line, "You don't need a criminal lawyer, you need a criminal lawyer."
Seriously, when the going gets tough, you don't want a criminal lawyer, right? You want a criminal lawyer. Know what I'm saying?
Watching Breaking Bad first, it's funny. Saul feels like this flashy, crooked showman who turns crime into customer service. But after Better Call Saul, that same scene feels tragic. The jokes, the confidence, the swagger, it's just a mask. You know what it cost Jimmy McGill to become this person. It's not Saul Goodman walking in, it's Jimmy McGill fading out. The same goes for Mike's death. In Breaking Bad, it's tragic but somewhat expected. But when you know Mike's story, when you've watched him struggle to provide for Kaylee, when you've seen his grief over Maddie, when you understand every moral compromise he made was driven by love, his death beside the river becomes unbearable.
I'm sorry, Mike.
So when we ask ourselves the question, in what order should we watch it? The traditional route, Breaking Bad, then Better Call Saul, this preserves the mystery and suspense. You experience the story as it was originally released, discovering these characters in real time. The revelations in Better Call Saul land with impact because you remember these people as dangerous enigmas. It's the thrill ride approach. Everything's designed for maximum surprise. The chronological route, Better Call Saul, then Breaking Bad. This creates emotional depth and tragic resonance. You understand motives, you see the humanity behind every action, and you grieve for what these people become. Breaking Bad transforms from a crime thriller into a tragedy about people you genuinely care about. It's the emotional devastation approach.
Hey, think on it.
We always end up having the same conversation, don't we?
I'll see you tomorrow, Chuck.
The fan-made special. Better Call Saul Season 6, Episode 9, then all of Breaking Bad, then El Camino, and finally, Better Call Saul, final 4 episodes. Some fans advocate for this hybrid. Start with Better Call Saul up until Breaking Bad's timeline begins. Watch Breaking Bad, then return for the final 4 episodes of Better Call Saul. It's ambitious and creates interesting narrative echoes, but it's also complicated for first-time viewers. Here's my take. There's no wrong answer, but there are different experiences. Choose Breaking Bad first if you want pure suspense and mystery, if you want to be surprised, shocked, and thrilled by unpredictable characters, if you want to watch 2 of the greatest shows ever made in the order they were crafted to be seen. Choose Better Call Saul first if you prioritize emotional connection and tragedy, if you want to understand every character decision deeply. But whatever you choose, you're in for something special. These aren't just 2 great shows. These are 2 sides of the same masterpiece.
We're done when I say we're done.
Now I want to hear from you. Have you watched both shows? What order did you experience them in? How did it shape your viewing? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't watched either yet, I envy you. You've got an incredible journey ahead. Don't forget to subscribe because we'll be diving deeper into these shows, analyzing scenes, breaking down characters, and uncovering the details you might have missed. Trust me, there is so much more to explore. See you in the next one.
Good luck, Mr. Driscoll.